Good morning, students. Welcome back to another session on Entrepreneurship Chapter 2, Entrepreneurial Planning, in which we are trying to understand about the private sector form of business enterprise. The first one that we learned yesterday was sole proprietorship. Now, the second one that we are going to understand is partnership. Now, what are we going to understand in partnership? We are going to do the features part of partnership today, right? Now, to begin with partnership, two heads are better than one. This is a popular saying about partnership. Two heads are always better than one. Yes, of course. But how they are better? That is what we are going to analyze. Yes, so partnership is born because of the drawbacks or limitations that are inherent in sole proprietorship. Sole proprietorship kind of business was very good. There was a lot of liberty, a lot of freedom. He was the king of the business. But then there were certain limitations and drawbacks. What were there? The limitation was capital. Sole trader cannot bring a lot of capital. But if a single sole trader is able to bring about 5 lakhs, another sole trader is able to invest 5 lakhs, why don't they both do it 10 lakhs together? Greater the investment, greater the risk, greater the profit. Right? So that's how the partnership kind of business came. Other than this, sole proprietor cannot expand. However, a partnership kind of business can expand. The death of the sole trader or some kind of problem with the sole trader will bring a stop to the business. But here in partnership, because there are more than 2 people, generally what happens if one partner is deceased, the other partner continues the business. Or you can admit more partners and retire the existing partners. Howsoever the business will continue. Right? So, how partnership has developed? Partnership form of organization has developed because of the inherent drawbacks or limitations of sole proprietorship. And to say prominently, limited capital, limited managerial, how much I can handle. I can't take care of accounts, I can't take care of stock, I can't do everything on my own. If one more person is there with me, I will be able to share my burden. So that's how partnership came. And limited continuity. Sole trader cannot expand and the problem was there. Now, what is the definition of partnership? I want all of you to root learn this definition. Partnership is a relationship between 2 or more persons who agree to share the profits of a business carried on by all or any of them acting for all. This definition is given in Indian Partnership Act 1932. Now, if you analyze the definition, partnership is a relationship. See, it's a relationship. That means in a relationship where 2 or more persons. In a relationship means there must be minimum 2 now. Right? So 2 or more persons, what they do, they are entering into an agreement to agree to share the profits of a business. Here I am not insisting on loss, but loss is, it is an accident. Profit is an intention. Who agree to share the profits of a business that is either carried on by all or any of them can act on behalf of all. That simply means that all the partners need not work. Some partners can contribute capital and then shut up. They need not participate in the business. So all of them can work together. That's the intention of the definition, explanation of the definition. Now, we will understand the characteristic. So, first in the definition only all the characteristics you have. The first one is 2 or more persons. Yes, a single person forms a sole proprietorship. 2 or more people can definitely form a partnership kind of business. Partnership is an outcome of a contract because there is agreement. Again, students, most of our laws have been adhered to or taken from British laws. In Britain, what happens? Oral agreement is valid, but in India, only written agreement is valid. That change is there. A minor change. We have adopted many things, but we have not adopted to the fact that oral agreement is not valid in India. We want a written document or a proof. Okay. Now, partnership is definitely born out of an agreement because 2 people are involved. So, there has to be an agreement that 2 people wish and intend with their full mind and conscience that they want to become partners in a business. Now, here there are certain things that you have to understand. At least 2 people should be there. Again, in the 2 people, minors are not allowed. Minors are those people who are below 18 years of age. Any person below 18 years of age is considered as a child according to Indian Civil Procedure Code as well as CRPC, Criminal Procedure Code. So here, any person who is under 18 years is considered a child and is incompetent to enter into any kind of contract. Thereby, only majors can enter. Right? Minors cannot form a partnership firm as they are incompetent to enter into a contract, but be admitted into the benefits of they can be admitted. If there are 5 partners, all the 5 cannot be minors. One or two can be a minor, but that minor is not liable for losses. You can give your profit share to him. For that it is eligible, but not for any kind of transaction. Right. If these people intend to do banking business, if the partnership kind of business, their intention is to do banking, then in that case the maximum number that can be taken is 10, and for other business it can be 20. For banking business alone, the limitation is 10. 10 people is the maximum, minimum to maximum 10. But for any other kind of business other than banking, minimum to maximum is 20 people together can form the partnership. So this is the first feature. Partnership is an outcome of a contract. That is the first feature. Second feature, agreement. The relationship in the partnership arises because of a legal contract that they have entered into. Though oral agreement is even acceptable, but in real life a written agreement is required, children. As I told you, we are in India, Indian constitution clearly signifies or gives a lot of importance to written agreement only. Right? Because in case tomorrow there is a dispute or there is a conflict, then it can be settled out on the basis of that agreement. Then profit sharing. Yes. Now profit sharing is an important. The objective of any business is to attain profit. Right? And they are distributed among any association initiated to charity work or to do any kind of social service cannot be considered as partnership. Again, in this partnership, there is one more thing, students. In the written agreement, if you do not mention the profit, how much profit, 60:40, how much profit are you going to share, then it is shared equally. Sometimes the profit is based on the capital sharing ratio. If I give 5 lakhs and you give 1 lakh, 5:1 lakh. I took more risk, you took less risk. Right? So sometimes it is mutual. Even though I gave 5 lakhs and you gave only 1 lakh, you are working more in the business, thereby we will share it equally. It all depends upon the mutual agreement between the partners. Unlimited liability. This is another thing, another very difficult, important drawback. Now one of the features as well as the drawbacks of partnership is unlimited liability. Unlimited liability means, here the situation is, we will take an example of Rishabh. Myself and Rishabh have entered into an partnership. We are doing a augmented reality or maybe virtual reality business, VR business we started. Now what happens here is, Rishabh took a loan on his name or in the name of partnership. Rishabh took a loan in the name of partnership, and then we ended up making a loss in business. We couldn't repay the loan. Now the person who gave the loan, we will assume Divesh has given the loan. Divesh is a money lender. He has lot of money. He has given the money on a promissory note. He has taken the signatures, and in the name of partnership only Divesh gave the loan. Now what happens? Now we ended up in loss. Now it is ultimately the choice of Divesh. He may choose me or he may choose Rishabh. Either of us. So here Divesh chooses me. Somehow he doesn't like me. So what he did, he claims that he has taken all the properties that are right. So here what happens is, sorry for the interruption, the previous video did not get uploaded. So unlimited liability. Unlimited liability is another feature in partnership which we saw, that Divesh is choosing me over Rishabh to file a case on or to grab my personal property. Because according to the Partnership Act, he can either choose one of us or both of us. When he chooses one of us, I call it individually. When he chooses both of us to satisfy his claims, he is choosing it collectively. Then comes implied authority. Implied authority means any actor, any partner can act on behalf of the other partner. Suppose there is an important decision to be taken and some question or query is there, you can ask either of the partners, because we are having mutual agency and there is an implied authority. The word given by Shreya is also the word given by Rishabh, because both of us are equally bosses, right? Mutual agency. Mutual agency means partnership can be carried on by all the partners or any of them acting for all. Here the question is, every partner is a principal as well as agent. You must be knowing the relationship between the principal and the agent. The agency relationship is whatever the agent is doing, he is doing according to the instruction of the principal. Whatever principal is doing is for the good of the agent, right? So there is a mutual agency relationship. Each partner is liable. What happened? There is a big loss in the business. So what happens? Rishabh is blaming me for that. But he cannot blame me, because we both are having the relationship of principal and agency. Maybe because of my wrong decision only that loss has happened. But he approved the decision by keeping quiet. He must have questioned it before the decision got implemented. He must have set up a communication or a discussion with me and convinced me not to go with it. But he was also not sure about it. So thereby he allowed me to take a decision, and that decision ended up in bringing a loss. So that is the very reason that mutual agency means both the partners, and I cannot say that it is only because of my decision making skills profits are happening. That also is not possible, because it is a mutual agency. He is allowing me to take the decision, right? Utmost good faith, see, friendship, honesty, integrity, ethics are very, very important in partnership. If I do not trust a person, I cannot make him as my partner, right? Restriction and transfer of shares, I cannot transfer my shares to anybody. If I don't want to continue as partner, I can give my letter of intention that I don't want to continue as a partner, and then he can submit my resignation, or I can say that, not resignation exactly, I can say that I want to discontinue. In that case, the firm stands dissolved and a fresh agreement is made. But I cannot transfer my shares without the consent of other partner, because here the question of honesty, trust, confidence, friendship is important. Me and Rishabh entered into a partnership because we had mutual trust on each other. But now Rishabh cannot allow Yash Gupta to enter into the partnership because I am referring him, unless and until he is confident about him, right? Continuity, a partnership continues to an extent until all the partners mutually decide to wind up the business. If all the partners mutually decide that they want to stop, then they can stop. Otherwise, it will continue. Legally, a firm dissolves on retirement, death, bankruptcy, lunacy, disability of a partner, if not otherwise provided for in the partnership deed. Right? Sometimes in the partnership deed also they will say we are continuing this partnership for 5 years or 6 years. Some kind of unique partnership agreements. Thank you. I hope you have understood the features of partnership. Have a fantastic day. Dada Sham.